Hi there, welcome to gruntworkers.com. I am James Zolman and I'm going to give you a demo of what it's like to hire grunt workers. I am grunt worker number one. I'm the founder here and I am really excited to introduce you to grunt workers. Here are a few of the highlights about me. I've managed companies of 1 to 192 people over the last 16 years in digital marketing. I have been an entrepreneur and have owned my own businesses and have helped hundreds of small businesses and medium-sized businesses like yours. And I've profitably managed over $100 million in marketing spend over the last decade alone. So I am very fortunate to have had a lot of fun online, and I discovered that I can come up with a lot of strategic campaign ideas, and a lot of my friends and colleagues can too. That probably includes you as well. As a marketer, you can come up with so many ideas, and you have to use the data to make the next best guess as far as which campaign to launch next and which one to focus on next. And then your team goes to work to execute that. Well, I've always wanted to be able to execute so much more than that, and that's why I started Grunt Workers. So let's get right to it. Who is Grunt Workers for? Grunt Workers is for you if you are a digital marketer who needs a marketing team that can scale quickly and effectively. You can add a Facebook ads person, you can add a funnel builder, you can add a link builder, you can add a graphics guy, and more. This is for you if you need to expand your marketing team so your current team can focus on creating more strategies. This is the 10x factor. It becomes a key competitive advantage so far from what we've found for companies to hire grunt workers to do the implementation of these strategies. They get so many more strategies launched, and more campaigns launched means more winning campaigns. This is for you if you feel stuck because you don't have the time to do it all. Let's say you're a digital marketer and you're coming up with the strategies and you're building all of the campaigns out and building all of the assets required or coordinating that. So you might be ready to hand digital marketing implementation over to a platform subject matter expert. And we have those here at Grunt Workers. I'll tell you a little bit more about them in just a moment. This is also for you if you would like the benefits of hiring an experienced, professionally trained and coached marketer. You can sort of consider us an outsourced HR team or an outsourced employment organization. You hire a grunt worker on a subscription basis, and behind the scenes, we're training them, we're coaching them weekly, we're helping them be better and do better for you. Every single grunt worker here, the moment that you hire us, has a minimum of 2 years of experience and an exceptional track record. And I'm really proud of that quality here at Grunt Workers. Who is Grunt Workers not for? You'll find that I like to tell you what we don't do and what we do, and I also like to tell you who shouldn't use us and who should use us. So people who are not digital marketers shouldn't use us. There's one exception to that rule. We love working with anybody who has been a digital marketer in the past or understands the digital marketing landscape in depth. And the reason why is because we are strictly an implementation team. We do not do strategy. We take your strategy, your way of doing things, and your copywriting, and we do the grunt work of setting it all up. Email marketing automation, Facebook ads, Google ads, funnel building, all of that grunt work, graphics, video editing, and more. You also shouldn't use us if you're not ready to manage a team, because it does take work to manage a team. It's not a set it and forget it. You will want to measure the quality. You will want to do some training. The biggest learning curve, and I like to tell this to everybody that hires a grunt worker, the biggest learning curve is for us to learn how you like to do things. We typically know the platforms exceptionally well, but we don't know how you like to leverage them for your clients. So there is a back and forth management cycle and a feedback cycle that has to happen for you to be happy with your hire and for us to be happy working with you. You should also not use us if you're not ready or currently preparing for growth. What I mean by that is if you invest in a grunt worker and hire them, then I hope that you are prepared for the growth that can occur from hiring a grunt worker. We are designed to work exceptionally hard and to try to scale whatever it is you're marketing as quickly as possible and as fast as possible, and as fast as your budget and cash flow will allow. And of course, that's all under your control. But if you're not ready to grow, then Grunt Workers isn't a good fit for you. If you're not willing to provide guidance, and we talked about this just a moment ago, about your business, your processes, the results that you're looking for, quality assurance, and more, then this isn't for you. This is a hands-on team. You will want to manage the team to your specifications and train them to your specs as well. All right, so let's jump over to one of my favorite project management tools. And as grunt workers, we adopt your way. When you hire a grunt worker into your team, they are still an outsourced staff member, but you treat them as if they're an in-house staff member. So you get all of the benefits of having a staff member without having any of the headache of an in-house burden of payroll and taxes and more, and training and HR in general, right? So when a grunt worker joins your team, you give them an email address at your company, you give them access to your assets and more. And this is what that looks like for us internally for our project management system. This is how that would look. Hop over to Trello here. So I created a demo project here in Trello, and we actually have projects within projects. So Trello has a project, and inside we have epics. Epics are just mini projects. So let's say you have a strategic campaign project that you want to launch here soon. I've only assigned 7 tasks just to showcase what this might look like. Anytime that you provide a task or a project, we are going to ask for a lot of details. The more details that you can provide, the better the execution will be, of course. That goes without saying. So here's a list of some of the tasks that we can accomplish. We can build a funnel, we can run Facebook ads, we can run Google ads, we can do graphics, we can do video editing, link building, and more. This is just the high level. For example, within Facebook ads alone, you might want to split this into multiple tasks to run Instagram ads, Facebook video ads, Facebook post ads, Facebook sidebar ads, and more. There are a lot of opportunities here. You can run retargeting ads, but in this case, I'm just going to showcase what it might look like to create a task for a grunt worker. Inside of our templates, we are designed to ask for as many details as possible. And we are designed to ask for what the objectives are so that we can measure that we were successful with completing this task. We also want to know who should be assigned, who's going to review this task, just so we know who we're working with, and more. Basically, the assets are provided by you when you create a task. You bring in the copywriting and the strategy, you drop it into a task, and then it gets built out in Facebook and starts getting optimized. So for us, we would move that into the backlog if we're planning out our week, and then we would move it into in progress when a grunt worker is working on it. Now, your process may be different. You might be on Monday.com, you might be on Asana, you might be in another project management tool. And as a full-time grunt worker, that grunt worker will adopt your way of doing things. Again, this is just for demonstration purposes. This is our process internally, and you're welcome to use this because this process is what I've used to scale from 6 to 7 to 8 figures as a marketing team. All right, so if the Facebook ads task is being worked on, it's in progress. Let's say I'm waiting on a graphic. It goes into our blocked column, and once I get that graphic, I can move it back to in progress. I upload that graphic or that video, and then it's ready for review. A review is a critical process. It's a must-have part of the experience. Every grunt worker's work needs to be reviewed so that you are sure that they did things the way that you expected them to, so that you know and you learn how to provide more details in the next task. Okay? Once this gets reviewed by you or one of your project managers, you move it into the done column and you move over to the next task. Now, what I like about Epics and this whole model that we have is now I can see what percentage of this project is done. This project is 14% done because I moved that task over to the done column and took it all the way through. All right, so this is if I had a full-time Facebook ads person. Now that they're done with this Facebook ads, I might create another one that says Instagram ads, or I might say optimize this campaign. Or if I have multiple clients or multiple websites or multiple businesses, I would create that task many, many times. And I would have them constantly optimize and tweak the ads and try different audiences and more. That's the power of having a grunt worker, is they can constantly chip away at that and constantly expand for you, as long as you provide the strategy and you tell them who you want to go after next or which audience you want to try to test, and then let them go at it. So that's what it would look like, very, very briefly and very, very fast, if you hired a full-time grunt worker. They would just get so much more done for you. Let's jump back to the presentation and continue on. Here's my secret to super profitable marketing teams. Every single time that I coach a team or lead a team, I turn every single team member into a strategist and an analyst. What that means is I have them go through Google Analytics training, just because I think that is very valuable and very applicable to almost any analytics platform. But I turn them into an analyst so that they're all speaking the same language and looking at the data in an objective way and looking for clues to build the next strategy. I also get them trained on and coach them on different angles, different audiences, and more, so that they're constantly coming up with good strategies and good ideas to test. We also get to work on documentation. We want to document the standard operating procedures and any frameworks that we use so that it becomes easily replicable and we can scale faster. We can always get more done when we have checklists to run. And this will help you with your grunt workers when you hire a grunt worker to your team. You don't need this before. The grunt worker is trained to help extract this out of you and to help you build this, so that as you continue working together, it gets easier and easier to scale and get more strategic campaigns out and live and winning for your business. The next item on my list here is quality assurance and problem solving. This is a secret to super profitable marketing teams, because quality assurance is that review process that we discussed in that project management framework that you just saw. That review process ensures that budgets are right, that audiences are right, that messaging is right. And if there's a problem or if there's a blockage in the system, we solve that by removing that blockade and allowing the grunt worker to keep working. Now, again, just to go back to that example of what that might look like, if a video asset is required but that grunt worker doesn't have that asset, you may need to go to a video editor, or you may need a grunt worker to constantly crank out videos for you, and that would be our video editor person. And that person would be on your team, and they would help you solve that problem of not having the videos. If you find that to be something that's blocking your system all the time, that will solve your problem, okay? So you are a problem solver, and every strategist is a problem solver. They're going to look at maybe a landing page and ask themselves, why is the bounce rate so high? We need to solve that problem. We need to add more content. We need to add more videos. We need to make it more sticky and help the duration last a lot longer on that landing page. In any event, we're training on problem solving all the time in marketing. And I think all of us digital marketers are problem solvers. This is one thing that may or may not apply to you, but as an agency, I've seen several agencies that hire full-time grunt workers. They're able to bill the same exact rates that they would for their counterpart project manager or their counterpart strategist. So they get to charge strategy rates like they always have for lower cost execution and implementation. That's the beauty of hiring grunt workers. You get the same quality implementation for a much lower cost, and it increases your margin. So it helps you become significantly more profitable. And of course, we always have the adage to always be testing. I think this is universal. This one's probably not too secret, but it never stops. And it's really super powerful to have a compounding growth effect because of the tests that you do. Audiences change, cohorts change over time. So testing constantly, even old tests, you might find something that worked 3 years ago but died out is now working again. So you'll want to constantly test that and test the cycle. All right, these are the most common questions that we field here at Grunt Workers, and I wanted to buzz through them. There are about 7 or 8 of them. The first one is, where are Grunt Workers from? They are from the Philippines, for the most part, or the Pacific Islands. We have a social mission here to help underprivileged economies around the world, and specifically in the Pacific Islands. So our goal is to help provide jobs and pay so well that not only does every grunt worker have sufficient to support themselves, they can support their extended family and they can make a positive impact in their community. That's our social mission. We want to be able to help hundreds of thousands of people. And you will see that our rates are very competitive. And it's simply because we are taking advantage of smart economics and we're hiring the best of the best in underprivileged economies and giving them very, very exceptionally good pay. So, grunt workers are from the Philippines, but you likely will not notice very much outside of maybe a slight accent. And even that is usually fairly light. So, I think you will really enjoy working with grunt workers from the Pacific Islands, specifically the Philippines. What types of tasks can I assign to grunt workers? You can assign any task that you want within their expertise, and then some of them will surprise you. We try to hire those that have multiple skill sets. For example, if you hire a Facebook ads full-timer from grunt workers, you might be surprised to find that they're also exceptional funnel builders, or they're exceptional at Google ads or YouTube ads or content marketing. We try to hire people who have multiple skills. We call them full stack marketers. You hire them for their primary skill, and that's what they're going to do the most for you, but talk to them, communicate with them, and you'll find some really, really cool, pleasant surprises, I think. Can grunt workers really handle unlimited tasks? I like to say submit unlimited tasks. You can create a giant backlog of tasks that you would want a grunt worker to do. You can truly scale your business with ads, with funnels, and more. And grunt workers can just chip away at that big old pile of unlimited tasks. So yes, submit unlimited tasks, but of course they're limited by time and by your priorities and prioritization. How many tasks per month can grunt workers finish? They can finish as many as you let them, I guess, and as specific as you are, and with the details that you provide, it will make task completion easier. You might create a task that's a massive project. In that case, they might get that one massive project done, but if they do it by themselves, then it might be super impressive that it got done and it's live and it's doing well for you. At other times, if you create very, very small tasks, they can tackle hundreds of those. And it really boils down to your management style. But we are proud of our work ethic. We are exceptionally hard workers. We try to get as much done as we can in an 8-hour day, 5 days a week, typically during or overlapping U.S. business hours. In fact, that should be one of my questions here, and it looks like I don't have it. But they do work U.S. hours. They are trained to do that. They have been doing that for years and years and years, typically before they even come to grunt workers. So they are used to that. They will overlap by several hours at a minimum, and a lot of times you'll see that they work what is the graveyard shift in the Philippines, and they are on their game all the time. All right, next question is, what's the best way to communicate with grunt workers? They will adopt your official communication method at your business or your company, whether that's through Slack, Skype, Google Chat, email. They are comfortable with all of it. They will adopt your way so that they can truly integrate into your staff, even though they're an outsourced staff member. Should I hire a team of grunt workers? Well, I think you're going to know my answer to that. Absolutely. Hire as many of them as you can. They're economically feasible. They are exceptionally smart. They know the platforms very, very well. And if your cash flow can support that and support scaling, then yes, I think hiring a team of grunt workers is a fantastic idea. You can have a little specialized group that can just crank out funnel after funnel, that can also crank out Google ads after Google ads, Facebook ads and more Facebook ads, and they can constantly be spinning out those once you get them into or onboarded into your system and your formula. If you find a formula that works, scale it like crazy, right? That's what I encourage every single time. If you have any other questions, feel free to chat with us anytime or email us at support@gruntworkers.com, and I will give you my personal email. It is james.zolman, Zolman, at gruntworkers.com. I'll be happy to personally answer any questions that you have. If you're ready to start working with us, it's really easy. You just go to gruntworkers.com, click on the pricing, and you just check out, and within minutes you should hear from us, and we should be able to get started and get you onboarded into grunt workers and get you matched up to the exact skilled grunt worker that you're looking for. Thank you so much for watching this demo. I hope it helps add a little bit of context to who we are, what we do, and how easy it is to onboard a Grunt Worker staff member into your company. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you when you hire your first Grunt Worker. Have a good one.